doing amazing and fantastic and wonderful. I am doing pretty good. I have roast beef in the roast beef stew with like potatoes and carrots and celery in the crock pot right now. And I am burning, smells so good. I am burning my candle by Kindness and Candles. I'm burning children. That sounded horrible. Okay, but it's spiced apples, cinnamon, and vanilla, so I'm super excited about that. It is now sweater weather because it is currently 48 degrees outside, which seems fantastic. I wanted to remind you guys that I am hosting a giveaway once I reach 4,000 subscribers, and I'm about 150 away from that goal, and I'm just super excited. I'm going to give a $40 Amazon gift card, and if you want to enter in to win, leave a cat and book emoji down below in the comments. But let's get into my reading wrap up for October. I am super excited about the amount of books I was able to get read in October. I was able to read 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 books in the month of October, and I had a pretty good reading month. Okay, so the first book that I finished, I listened to it on audiobook from my library. And it is a killer collection. It is the first book in the Antiques and Collectible Mystery series by Ellie Adams. And I told you guys that I'm trying to catch up on all of her books, but I think she mentioned that she's writing her 41st book right now. And so I've got some catching up to do. So it says the first in a new series introduces amateur sleuth Molly Appleby, a sharp-witted writer for Collectors Weekly magazine. She has a keen knowledge of antiques, a special fondness for collectibles, and an uncanny acquaintance with the criminal mind. Bum bum bum. I liked it enough that I am also listening to book 2 from my library. I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars. The next book that I read, actually the next 2 books I read, are both from the Book Magic Mystery series by Melissa Bourbon. Guys, I am reading the second book in the series right now, and it is so good. Okay, so the first one is called Murder in Devil's Cove. The only way I can describe this, and I don't want to spoil anything, is practical magic meets, I don't know, practical magic meets twins. Like, it's so good. We have these 2 twins whose family has been cursed. The women die in childbirth and the men die at sea. It is so good. I could not recommend it anymore. I then read, so that was 5 out of 5 stars. I then read The Secret on Rumrunner's Lane, which is a prequel, so it's 0.5 to the series, and this is actually about the Lanes, which is their last name. We've got about the Lane's mother. So the women in the family have bibliomancy, and they're able to tell the future in a way, or even get information about the past through their book magic. And guys, run, don't walk. This is such a good series, and I am thrilled to be reading more of it. Okay, so the next book that I read was Murder at the Pumpkin Patch. This is the 12th book in the Firefly Junction series by London Lovett, and you guys know how much I love my London Lovett. And the premise is Sunny Taylor's sisters, through their power of sisterly persuasion, have convinced Sunny to host a Halloween costume party at Cedar Ridge Inn. And she's a little reluctant because she doesn't want everybody to think that the place is haunted, even though it is haunted. And so she decides just to relax and enjoy it. Of course, she can't have a spooky Halloween party without toothy, grinned jack-o'-lanterns. And her and Jackson are trying to spend their day at a pumpkin patch to get some pumpkins for the party, and a murder happens. And I don't want to go too much into detail because I don't want to ruin it for anybody that is reading this series, but it was fantastic, like it always is. The next book that I read was for the Cozy Escape Book Club, and it is Cookie Dough or Die. This is the first book in the Cookie Cutter Shop mystery series by Virginia Lowell. And I enjoyed this series, or this book. I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars. Lisa gave it a 2 out of 5 stars. If you want to know more of our thoughts, you can go to the live stream on, I believe it was her channel, to sort of get more of our thoughts on it. But I really enjoyed it. I loved the idea of Olivia running her cookie cutter shop with her best friend, and then sort of like having different mystery elements. I do believe that there should have been a book before this to lead into this book, because I thought that there was too many mysteries all in one in this book. But I did give it a 4 out of 5 stars, and I would continue with the series. The next book that I read was for the Cozy Classics book club that Ellery and I have, and we read Bram Stoker's Dracula, and it was a lot of fun diving in and sort of seeing what everybody else thought about different elements of the book. And this book I had read 2 or 3 times before. The first time I read it was junior year in high school in my Brit Lit class. So I gave it a 3 stars. This time I think that as I get older, I am less like glossy-eyed about Bram Stoker, but it was okay. The next book was one that was like a impulse purchase at Barnes & Noble a couple of weekends ago, and it's called Several People Are Typing by Calvin Kasulk. I love the fact that this book is written completely in chat form, so Slack channels and things like that. So it's just text about people talking back and forth in a chat room, and there's different chat rooms. We have Gerald, who is our main protagonist, and he is trying to tell his coworkers and his boss that his consciousness has been sucked into the Slack server and he can't get out. They think that it's a bit and that he is just trying to stay working from home, but the bosses actually don't mind Gerald working from home because he's starting to get a lot of things done. Where he was an average, below average sort of worker, he is now a really good worker, getting a lot of stuff done. And so you're trying to read and find out if Gerald ever gets out of Slack. The last book that I read, and I finished it just on the edge, was Halloween Party Murder. This is a compilation of Leslie Meyer, Lee Hollis, and Barbara Ross all have a short story that revolves around Halloween. They always come out with things like this, and they come out with like Christmas ones as well. I gave it a 3 stars. I didn't enjoy the first story, which I think was by Leslie Meyer. I enjoyed the second story by Lee Hollis enough to maybe look into more of her other cozy mysteries. And then the Barbara Ross one was probably my second favorite. But we read this for the Spooktacular Cozy Challenge with the Cozy Engagement Group on Instagram. If you guys aren't following, you totally should. We are doing a 30 Days of Gratitude challenge right now. And so we've got all different kinds of challenges that you can go do, as well as a bingo card. So you should come along and join us on our cozy ride. But I'm super excited about all the things that I have planned for the rest of this year, and Cosmas and our book club and all of those things. I do want to thank all of these amazing people who have decided to support Lisa and I and get other bonuses with the BFF sort of Patreon tier, which is only $1 a month, and then there's also the VIP, which we come out with all different kinds of extra things, extra book club, where we read the first 3 in a series and talk about it, and that is $10 a month. But yeah, that's the end of this chapter of Courtagonist. Please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already, and until next time guys, happy reading!